Welcome back again to Liegel Show, where we educate and entertain. Remember, we are continuing with our calculation based on material mix, material yield, and material cost variance. So in this video, we'll be capturing the material yield variance. So if you missed on our first video based on the material mix variance, please click on the link below to check on how such calculations are done. So let us move to the question. We are still handling the same question, but now we are supposed to calculate the material yield variance. Remember, if you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe, like, share, and comment on our videos. So the material yield variance in this case will be abbreviated by MYV is given by standard cost into standard yield minus actual yield. Standard yield minus actual yield. So do we have the standard cost? So we'll have to calculate the standard cost of the output. Standard cost of the output. Standard cost of the output will be given by, so we have two materials. We have their material M and N, then standard mix, the proportion. Remember in the equation here, you can check the standard mix ratio was 40-60, standard price 120 and 100. So we will write here that is proportion is 40%, this one was 60%. Then from there we also have the standard price for each. For this one, the standard price, if you remember, was 120, and the standard price here was 100. So what is our standard cost? Standard cost will be calculated by standard mix, the proportion or the ratio of that material in the mix, times the standard price. So 40% times 120 will get your standard cost to be 48. Then 60% times 100 get here to be just 60. So our total standard cost here will be 108. But that will not be the last thing in this case. The standard cost will have to take into account what was in the equation termed as the standard loss. You check here, there was a standard loss of 15%. 15% loss was expected. So if you're having a standard loss of 15%, that means the expected production will be 85%. So this will affect our final equation here. That means the standard cost per unit of the output will be 108 divided by 0.85, which on this will get it to be shillings 127. So this one here will be used as the standard cost in this question. Now, how will we get our material yield variance? Getting back to the equation, so material yield variance will be, in this case, material yield variance will be given by standard cost, which is now 127, into, remember we talked of the standard yield. Standard yield in the equation here will be by taking into account the standard loss. So the normal loss, which is expected here to be 15%, it will be 85%, which is now the expected production, times was 85% of the total actual kgs which were used. If you remember from our material mix variance, it was 3000 here, which we took 1400 kg of material M, which was used, plus the 1600 kg of material N that were used. So it will be 85% of 3000 minus the actual. Now remember we said it is standard cost into standard yield minus actual yield. So the actual yield, I think this one is now given in our question. If you can check keenly here, the company produced 2500 kgs of coffee blend. 2500 will now be our actual yield, so it will be minus 2500. What are we having here? So the answer will be, if you feed this into your calculator, it will be 6350, which is favorable. Any question up to that point? So remember to subscribe, like, share, and comment. We meet in the next video where we'll be covering the material cost variance.